Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, four crazy rescue dogs, and a rescue cat who likes to cross stitch, who likes to make things actually, any kind of craft, in her spare time, is trying to pass the BEI for sign language interpreting and trying to train for Ironman. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, it boosts my serotonin and my self esteem, and we can all use that. And if you are a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for, so grab a drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. This last week was so intense. I don't know how to describe it. So I apparently signed up to take a week-long class right after StitchCon. Like, what the heck? To prep for the BEI. For those of you who are new here and don't understand, the BEI is a certification that I need in order to interpret basic level things here in Michigan and in most states. Not all states, though. So that's interesting. It's a very hard test. It has a very low pass rate. Like, you are more likely to pass the bar exam than you are to pass this test. Yeah, on the first try. It's crazy. So I took this class, and last Sunday to last Monday, we basically did a practice BEI. And then people who are graders for the BEI and help develop the BEI have volunteered their time to work with us. And I think they're volunteers. I don't know. They could be paid. I don't know. I didn't pay them. The dogs they've got something. Okay. So they go through it, and then you go through this week-long classes, reviewing skills, sharpening up your skills, doing group things, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the time, you go through a totally different BEI than the first one. And interesting. You sit down again with the person and go through, like, okay, look, these are skills that you've gotten better at over the week. These are things that we still need to hone in. Okay, so I sit through this week-long class. I did have to do an arraignment or a probable cause hearing. I had a couple things. It was crazy. It was so intense, and I was so exhausted. But I learned a lot, and what I've learned is I kind of did a disservice to myself on my internship hours in the fact that legal interpreting is the highest certification you can get. Okay. I went into a legal setting because I'm familiar with that. So it's easy for me. I don't necessarily have the right or the exact sign, but I can explain what's going on, and I also know what's coming next. It's pretty, you know, so I don't have a lot of the unknowns. Like, I know, like, the waiver of rights questions. I already know what that order is. Like, where if I was just interpreting touring the zoo, I may not know the order of the animals or whatever she or he, the docent, is going to say. It's all going to be new and coming at me, and I'm going to have to process it right then. There's no, yes, I know, there's bears, there's penguins, there's ducks, but the order is different. So I went with what I was familiar with because my mentor at the time wanted to learn about the legal system. And now I'm sitting here going, great, that helped him because now he understands the legal system, which is great. But I'm behind the eight ball in the fact that, like, some of those conversational things and the easier signing, I don't have. And what she's noticed is, like, if I don't know the right sign, my brain starts spinning, like, trying to find it. and I'm killing, like, it's, so I'm dropping information. And so it's not that I'm signing wrong. Most of my errors weren't that I was signing wrong. It was that I dropped the information. That's very heartbreaking for me. I have been busting my ass. And to know that there's still a lot of work to be done before I'm going to be ready to take my BEI and hopefully pass it. So we're going to do it. So I met with Jasmine this afternoon. We went and saw Jesus, which is a death movie. So that was kind of cool. We had lunch and we went through everything, and she's having some of the same issues. So it's not that I'm the only one. I'm not alone. But we set up some strategies and what we're going to do, and we're going to, we're going to tackle this. She's scheduled to take her BEI in September, and I think that's what I'm going to schedule mine. What that means is that on Fridays, maybe I'm going to volunteer with DEFCAN, which is our local deaf organization. And also, I'm going to email the person with we have amazing facility leader dogs for the blind, and they do a lot with the deaf blind, and they are always looking for SSPs. I can be an SSP now, even without certification. So I'm going to spend some time working with the leader dogs and with the deafblind community, which is, honestly, I love the deafblind community, and working with them. So that will up my skills. The person I was taking the class for before, Helen, has reached out to me and said, hey, if I support you and help train you, will you volunteer once a month to come and interpret in church? Yes, I will be there. So, and then I started a thing in our sign club. I'm still in the Facebook group and will continue to be in the Facebook group, where I'm going to throw a word out like every couple days. I thought about doing it every day. I think I don't have the brain power to do that, to be honest with you. Throw a word out there, and then, think of 3 to 5 different ways to sign that. So today's word is praise. Oh, and I do screaming E's. So she's like, shut your E's. This is called a screaming E. This is an E. So I have to work on that. Which is funny because when I started the program, I did L's like this. And my one teacher, he kept going and putting it. So now I don't do that. But now apparently I have a screaming E. So I've been conscious about that. She also gave me a good way. I get confused. It's going to sound very stupid. 21. She's like, easy way to remember 21. 21 gun salute. 21. Okay. 20. She's like, I don't even know how you would remember that. It just looks like a duck. So 20 ducks. 20. Okay. And then I do need to work on upping my finger spelling speed. And that's just, it's practicing those words. But I don't have to finger spell much when I'm in court because I can sign, like I have solid signs for that. So, look, if they gave me a piece about, and they talk about waiving your rights, I gotcha. But that's not on this level. So, but I have to get out of my own way right now. And then I've got my significant other who's like, okay, but we need to focus on the business. We need to focus on the business. We need to focus on the business. And I'm going, well, maybe I'll take Friday and volunteer at DEFCAN. But then I'm like, okay, then I can meet with clients on Saturdays, which really helps my clients in the long run if I can dedicate a chunk on Saturdays, because most of my clients work full time. during the day, like regular 9 to 5 jobs. So to have Saturday hours available to them would be beneficial. And that would be kind of the trade-off. And he's like, great. So we're like, where does he fit in? And I get that. And I'm like, I will make it work. Like, it doesn't mean that I'm volunteering every Friday. It doesn't mean, so I don't know. I'm really frustrated. And part of me is just like, then there was a question about whether interpreters are mandatory reporters. In our program here in Michigan, we were told, no, we're not. Well, we were told this last week that yes, in fact, we are. We're mandatory reporters. Now, I had a problem because I was like, okay, but as a lawyer, I'm a mandatory reporter. I can't just sit by and let crimes, especially against children, like that's really the focus when we talk about mandatory reporting. A lot of it is child abuse. I'm a mandatory reporter for that. And my program director before said, well, you have to pick your lane. I was like, I don't have that ability. I'm always a lawyer. That's what the bar says. And she's like, I don't know how you're going to deal with it then. So come to find out, now what we did, I did some deeper diving into it because I was totally freaking out about it. And turns out in Michigan, interpreters aren't necessarily mandatory reporters, but they do. They're like, you kind of like, we're in that gray area. So I will always listen, mandatory reporter or not, I will always err on the side of caution and I will report child abuse. Always. Absolutely always. So yeah, so you may see me signing more, just to practice. And the other part of that was we had been taught to transliterate, you sign ASL word structure, but you're mouthing English. No, both are. Transliterating is basically simcomming. So you're signing English and you're saying English. It's the easiest way to translate or interpret for most people. Now, that doesn't mean that the deaf person wants you to simcom, but it's a choose your own sort of thing. So lots more work to be done. I took my mom for a colonoscopy. She's good for 6 years. How she gets to be good for 6 years and I have to go in, now I get to go in every other year is beyond me. I don't know. But that said, I really am going to urge my viewers. I know there's not, like, I don't have a large viewership. I get that. Like, whatever. If you are in your late 30s, early 40s, please schedule a regular colonoscopy. I know they suck. Trust me, the prep for it is awful. But I'm watching Jasmine's neighbor, and I'm supporting Jasmine because Jasmine's like, what do I do? Her neighbor, has basically terminal. She's stage 4 pancreatic cancer that has metastasis. I don't think that a colonoscopy would have caught it, but I don't know. Like, there has to be some there. I just would like to think that there was some sign that maybe just got ignored. I don't know. All I'm saying is please regular health checkups. They are so important. They're annoying. I get it. They're, copays are expensive, things like that. But you could be saving your life. And so I urge you, whether it be a colonoscopy, a mammogram, your annual dusting and cleaning checks, get them done. I'm horrible about putting mine off. I know that The end of August, I have my eye exam, and I'm actually looking forward to it because I'm going to switch my glasses to pair eyewear. So I have like the little crazy toppers. So excited about that. I know it's the little things. And if that's what takes, then that's great. I know I need to schedule my mammogram. I know I need to schedule my annual. I have to do all of those things. And so I am making a commitment to you guys that I will schedule those in the next couple weeks. Um, the other thing is that a friend of mine reached out to me to ask me to be sort of her check-in buddy. And so absolutely I will. And so almost daily we check in and it's like, okay, what are you hoping to accomplish today? And then we check in again at night, just a few minutes or so some days. Quick note, like, hey, I got this done, this done, this done, and this done. I didn't get this done. Um, and there's been a couple days where I'm like, okay, so my friend is battling severe depression as part of the problem. And so like one of the things she doesn't do is like shower out of bed. That's like sometimes if you're low on spoons, if you're a spoon person, um, that can be really take a lot out of you, and I get that. So like literally, she was struggling, and she was like, "Okay, I haven't showered in 2 days. I'm exhausted. I'm just gonna go to bed. I'll shower in the morning." I'm like, "No, time out, ma'am. You're gonna go take a shower because it's gonna help you relax and unwind for the day. Then you're gonna go to bed." And when you curl up in bed, you're going to do your reading because one of her things that she does every day that she wants to make a practice and a routine is that she will read for 10 to 15 minutes, right? And she reads an actual book. She doesn't count audiobooks. Now, I'm an audiobook girl, but she wants to read. Okay. So, and she's like, I kind of hemmed and hawed, but I knew. And she goes, I did it. And she goes, honestly, I slept good that night. I got up early the next morning and was ready to go. And I didn't feel like I was already failing. And I was like, there you go. And there's been a couple times where I was like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, stop. And so I encourage you to find a friend like that. If you're struggling in any kind of way. And even if you just want to like push yourself a little bit further, find a friend. And if you need a friend, I'm a friend. So, okay. The other thing that has happened in this last week, in case you can't tell, my ADHD is at a high. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know why. I don't know. But I have been, like, probably because one thing, my desk here at the house is a flippin' mess. I have not put away my suitcase from StitchCon. I still have one thing to unpack in it. I haven't unpacked anything out of that bag of stuff. I have all these flat like collections files that I hired somebody to help me deal with. So they're sitting here because I had to fish out information out of those to give to him. So it's like my desk is caving in on me. So as much as I want to do a bunch of stuff, different stuff tomorrow I think I need to start my day early with cleaning up my desk because I've noticed that the worse my desk is, the worse my ADHD is, and then I end up making like just spinning my top. So you will notice that when we go over my stitching, I have started more things. Did I need to start anything? No, really I didn't. I have plenty of whips. If you're not familiar with me, you should know that I have, let me pull it up because, I have it on a Word doc because I'm old school. Okay. So right now, just whips, not including anything that's full coverage, I have 41 whips. And actually, I need to add to that. So I am getting close again to 50 whips. This is a problem for me because it actually does create anxiety. And then I am now up to 9 full coverage pieces. 9. With the intent that I will probably start at least one more in the coming coming few months. And we're going to talk about that. So, yeah. And I don't know that I have a piece that's like super, super close to a finish. I don't know. I do. I have Santa Mermaid that's close to a finish, and really Snow Miser wouldn't take me much longer either. But I have not grabbed either one of those, so just so you know. So, the flip side is I have like 50 plus things kitted up and ready to go. So there's that too. I have decided, in case you're new here, that in addition to I have my beach wall will probably be more than one wall, which does not make me sad because I love the beach. I need to find a wall that I can put patriotic, and you'll see why. Yeah. And then I don't know. Maybe a sorority. I don't know, but I need more wall space. So when I go shopping for a real house, we're going to be looking at a lot of how much wall space is there going to be for Kelly's stitching. So, let's see. The other thing that came in this last week, I'll show you guys. Yep. Oh, it's me. Um, Lizzie, relax, Chiquita. Okay. So, stop. Hold on 1 second, folks. So yeah. So let's get started on what did Kelly do this week. They're all kind of mixed in. So this last week was Juneteenth on Wednesday, and I pulled out Harriet Tubman. I am stitching Harriet Tubman on oatmeal. I think it's Hardinger. No, it's oatmeal fiddler's cloth. I don't know what the difference is. I'm going to be honest with you. It's oatmeal, and it's cute. It's pretty. So I worked some more on Miss Harriet. I actually got quite a bit done, believe it or not. I worked all of this into this, and then came over. I did all of this, and up here. I would love to say that Harriet will be done sometime soon. I'd love to say that, but if I said that, it would be wrong. But I am going to put Miss Harriet Tubman by the Primitive Hair on my goals for 2025, I think. I'm pretty sure. Because she's been hanging around for a while. And I love Miss Harriet, but she needs to be done. Okay. So the next thing I worked on, I literally have stuff everywhere, you all. If you only knew. Okay. So the next thing is I keep the floss and the pattern in my beautiful book bag by Needles and Bones. It's Maleficent. I love Maleficent. Maleficent is literally my favorite villain. I don't know why, but she is. And I love the movie with Angela Jolie, which I don't generally like Angela Jolie, but she nailed Maleficent. Amazing. Like one of my favorites. Okay, so in here is traditional Quaker FT. Yes. I am using Bradley's balloons from Threadworks. I am stitching it 2/1 X by X so that I get my colors aren't muddy. They're nice and vivid. It is on 18 count Ada. This is the halfway point right down here. So it's not going to be gigantic. I was initially going to do this for my friend Kevin. I was going to do it in like greens and tell him it was Irish. But Emily put first dibs on it when I said it was in rainbow colors. She's like, and I started it in June for Pride. She's like, could it be any more perfect? And I was like, I don't think it could be. I absolutely love this. So, um, so what you'll see is, see this little line in here? That's Morse code. I love me a secret message. I love me a secret message. And oh my God, I absolutely love this. So like so you got to figure it's only going to be like out to about here, right? And then it's the same, it's this big square. I love stitching on this. I love it. I have finally understood, like, I've always struggled with variegated flosses. And I don't know why this time all of a sudden it dawned on me, like, hey, dummy, stitch it X by X. Does it take a little bit longer? Yes. Is it worth it? 100%. 100%. Do I love it? Yes. Am I kind of sad? Is it a pattern that maybe I might stitch more than once? Yes. Yes, it might be. Okay. So next up, this is stitched on Atomic Ranch fabric in the color Sky in 18 count Ada. You all will remember I bought a piece of, I want to say it's linen actually, for my Courage sale in the color Sky. That piece has actually got a little bit more variegation in it, which is fine. Like, it's fine. They're both beautiful. And it may be my favorite color to stitch on. And I kind of view it as, it's kind of neutral because it's the sky. What am I talking about? Okay, so I am stitching the Quaker flag from the Vivsters. I'm doing the extended version, of course. Of course, if you're new here, of course I'm going to do the extended. I got in the first motif, and I started the second one. One thing I will say though is I did not like the red that she called for. It was like this reddish brown. It was deep. It was like it's 3777 is what she called for. I am switching my red to DMC 347, which is a little orangey now that I'm looking at, but it's not really in person. Generally I go with 321 for reds, but these are my blues. These are the blues. So and then I'll add in DMC, just Blanc is the other color. So we started that. And that was a planned start at some point this year. This is also making me want to. I have One Nation, the one with the flag with the states as the states as the stripes, and so it's making me want to pull that one out and kind of work on them simultaneously. Do I need to do that right now? No, no, I do not. No, should I? Probably. Again, ADHD at its finest. Okay. I also started the Bougie Cat. The Bougie Cat sale. I am hosting the Bougie Cat sale because the Bougie Cat sale was started. Bougie Cat is actually called, it's by Beck Creek, and it's called the White Cat. He's so freaking cute. Like, I can't stand it. I fell in love with them. I said, so they had this one, and they had a cat with little glasses and a stack of books. And I said, being a picture, and she liked this one better. But she's like, his flowers are kind of dark. Are they like dying? And I was like, no. So me being me, I got out a piece of fabric from Stephanie, not by Stephanie, from my friend Stephanie. It's this like olivey. Ooh, that it's a little bit darker than this that is showing up. But when I kitted it up, I'm not sure. Like, I think I spent $65 between the fabric and the floss. Hence, he's Bougie Cat. Okay, so Bougie Cat is being done in silks because an overnight floss is from Forbidden Fiber Co. And if you want my conversion of like He's gonna be a bright. I love him so much. Okay, so here's Bushy Cat. Here's the actual cat colors. Because Houdini is not solid white. He's kind of like a raccoon. Bella just said. Okay, and then he'll be trimmed out with his like in his ears. So he's actually all three of these colors. And they're all three, like really and truly. Okay, so then the flower, his collar will be this lovely blue, and that is not showing up at all. It's Blue Moon from Almond M&M's, and it's almost a beautiful neon-y turquoise. And then these are my flowers. I love it. It is so bright and like, oh my god, like the camera is not showing them at all. Like really and truly, they are almost neon colors.
Because why not?
So Bushy Cat's how it got started.
Just make them neon as you do.
So yeah. So join me with Bougie Cat, who's really not named Bougie Cat by the designer. It's Bed Creek's The White Cat, if you're looking for it.
But we just call him.
But because he's done in silk, he's Bougie Cat. I mean, because, you do them in hand dyes and in silks on hand dyed linen. He's not bougie. He's not your mama's Ada cat. He's bougie boy. Oops. Didn't mean to show the whole world the pattern there. Okay. I've run out of project bags. I've started so much stuff lately. I don't even have project bags for it. That's kind of a problem. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is the good one. I've been working away on this. And I did pick up I'll show you my haul as I buy it, like as I have it. Okay. So I needed the Tin Man colors. Fucking freaking Tin Man. He's gonna be okay, but what that means is, y'all, I finished the Scarecrow. Is he not just the cutest little thing? I can honestly say I think this is the smallest thing I have ever stitched in my life. He is stitched 1/1 on. I think this is pretty small. This is pretty small. It could be a 40. I don't know what it is. I'm not counting it.
It's like you don't have time for that.
But he totally looks proportional to the rest of the piece. He's so freaking cute. I love him so much. I love him. So I think I'm gonna start the Tin Man next, because the Tin Man will go over here. And then over here is Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion. And once those two are in, I'll have to see if I have room for two more, like one on each side. I think I will. Because then my hope is that if I can put two there, and then when I come down the sides, still put two here and then two at the bottom, then my quote can go right here. So we'll see. Did you just get ice cream and didn't offer me any?
You're filming. I can.
Do you see what I deal with?
I can still tell when you're done. You'll still get some when you're done recording.
Amazing, I let them live. Next up is Lady Justice. I worked a bit on her. If you know, you know. I'm not stitching her the way she's stitched. She's charted.
Your grandson's probably going to put me in jail anyway.
I am stitching her with a color conversion of blacks and grays with a purple sash. I am stitching this on 32 count. 32 count Heroic Lugana by Picture This Plus. It's delicious. That's where we're at. Oh, she's upside down. I am stitching the Kreinik and Petite Treasure Braid that I charted in her as I go. I'm just not beading, and I'm seriously debating whether or not I'm just going to go ahead and bead. What I do know is that I made just a copy of a section of the chart on my printer here, but my printer must have been running out of ink because the symbols, it's kind of faded and it's kind of sucky. And it would be really helpful. It would be really helpful if I could get her into Pattern Keeper, but we all know that ain't gonna freaking happen. If you're new here, I don't like technology, and me struggle. We have a love-hate relationship, me and technology. It's okay though. It's okay. So I kind of need to go to Kinko's and make some copies, like working copies. Okay, let's see. Oh, I know it's in here. Okay, so originally I had picked this. There's 3 projects in here because I don't have enough project bags. So Owl Forest has a sampler called the Harvest Sampler Cucumbers. It really should be pickles, but I don't know, whatever. Okay, so I had originally picked a piece of XJU Designs fabric, and I started to stitch it, and I was like, oh no, this is not going to work. You couldn't, it just, like the colors of my flosses, you couldn't see it. It just wasn't good. It was not good. So I went through my newly acquired linens, my newly acquired fabric. It didn't have to be linen. I was fine with stitching on Ada. And in there is a piece of color and cotton 32 count in the color Over the Moon, and it's a Belfast 32 count. And the colors are beautiful on here. So I have started in the corner. This is like a vine that goes up. That's my jar. So this is the I Love Pickle Sal. Please join me with the I Love Pickle Sal. I mean, how do you not love pickles? I'm also the pickle friend that if you don't like pickles and you want to give me your pickle, I will happily love and eat your pickle. So that's what we're doing. Now, I do have a color conversion that Susan from Keepsakes did for me to kind of lessen the yellow in it. There's a lot of yellow in there. So, okay. So then up next that I worked on, because ADHD, I worked on the He Tends His Flock sampler that I'm doing for my one mentor. It is by Tranquil Tree Cross Stitch Designs on Etsy. It's so pretty. Her favorite, my mentor's favorite color is pink. Susan at Keepsakes did the overdyes for me, except for 310 in white because I have big, huge cones of those. So those are the colors that we have. I love them. It's going to blow it out. I don't know why I'm bothering to try, but I'm working with Atomic Ranch Blush in a 32 count linen. Yep, totally blown it. Okay, there we go, maybe. Okay, so I got in this cloud and started down on this cloud and some more of the blue sky. So right below this starts a band of like green fields, I think. Yes. So we're doing this section in here right now. Soon we'll start the green and some words. The next one down has got the little sheepies on it, and I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to make the baby sheep with Whisper. I don't know. I don't think so. Now that I think about it, probably not going to happen. So both the pickle sampler and this one is another, golly gee whiz, I hope I get it done by Christmas or for Christmas. Dare to dream. I don't. Also in here still is my dreaming of daisies, but I didn't work on that this week. See, like my pile is clearing out the window. It's really kind of scary. Okay. I did pull out my peppermint purple sal. I don't know. I'm falling back out of love with it, but not really. So I worked a little bit more on this square, but not really. But I went ahead and started the next square. And I don't know why I didn't get further, but I think it was probably just because I don't know. I'm not getting into a groove with it anymore, or at the current stage, and that's troublesome because I feel like black work is something that you have to be able to sort of, there's a rhythm to it, and once you get into the rhythm, it's really not very complicated. But until you find that rhythm, it is like, it's just miserable. I don't know what else to say. It's just miserable. If you know, you know. Okay, so the next piece I've been working on, we are nearing, I think I hit 27%. It's hard to stitch on this one because there is so much confetti. Whose fault is that? Well, the designer. You ask, well, who's the designer? Well, that would be myself. It would be myself. So yeah, I do this to myself. So but here's the thing. We are under 30,000 stitches left. So we hit 27.66%. I have now stitched officially 11,439 stitches out of 41,356 stitches. Why do I do this? I will say though that I have loved watching this piece come alive. It is just like when you pull it back and you go, like, it looks like a picture, and that's exactly how I wanted it. It looks like a picture of them. Even his jacket, there's like 4 different colors in his jacket. It's not just 310. I absolutely love it. So that is definitely, this and Oz are probably my 2 biggest focus pieces this year. I know. You would never know that judging from everything else I'm stitching. But it is. Okay, next up, another new start. This is all of the fabric that it will need as well. I think it might be a little bit big, but it ain't that much bigger. Where will this hang? God knows. God knows. But here's the thing, I don't have to worry about that because guess what? I don't fully finish much if you're new here. Fully finished objects, if you're here for that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't fully finish much. I don't. I do need to get with Niecy Lynn said that there's a place. She gave me a reference for for a frame where you can order the framing and you can get the backing and stuff. And I totally am blanking on what it is. So I need to try and track her down so that I can find out to be able to order the frame for Rosie. In the meantime, this is hashtag Stitch All the Dogs. Because I started The Grand Library of Dogs by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. Because who doesn't love a library of dogs? It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so look. I know. Are we at 1%? We are not. We are not. I'll tell you where I'm at in just 1 second. We're at 0.05. and I've stitched 198 stitches. But I started it today, and then I watched the Jesus movie and had lunch with Jasmine, and I've been running around. So it's not like I haven't been doing anything. So, yeah. Hang on one second. So, yeah. So, another new start. Told you. Okay. So, the last thing we need to talk about is, so I still have to finish my square for Monopoly. Haven't done that. But while at StitchCon, and actually for a while now, Kim has been asking me, when am I going to start Henrietta? If you are not familiar with Henrietta, let me just share Henrietta with you. She's glorious. I am grateful that I have printed out this pattern because I cannot find my file anywhere on my computer or in my cloud for this pattern. But I have it printed out in both black and white, apparently, and in color. And so Kim would like me to start that. And like I said, I want to start the One Nation by Bygone Stitches, so that I have both flags going. And I think I think that's all of the plan starts that I was. Let me look. So as far as plan starts, oh, I think we've hit just about all of them. Hang on one second, my son is okay. So, what am I going to do this next week? This coming week? I don't know. I have several appointments. I have several court hearings. Who knows? The thing I would like to do is get my table cleared back down to manageable and my StitchCon stuff put away. As far as stitching, I still need to finish my square for Monopoly for my WIPGO, and then we'll see what the new WIPGO numbers are called. On the off chances are one of mine is going to be a viewer's pick, so if you have any ideas about what you want me to stitch, it could be Henrietta, it could be the Disney Princess Al, it could be Bushy Cat, it could be anything. I don't care. Just if you have an idea that you might want me to stitch on for a while, let me know down below, and we'll do that. Nobody put in for the drawing last week that I noticed. I will go back again and look, but for those of you who are wondering, please somebody just take it and look at it. It is the brothers. I don't know. Somebody's got to love it somewhere. I don't know. But if you'd like to have that in your collection, just because, just use the word brother, but don't use any of the demon words. Don't use giveaway, prize, like what, none of that, because then the trolls come and God knows we don't need this. So with all of that to say, I have to run and get my son. That's why I'm kind of rushing right now. Remember, you are smart and you are beautiful. You are loved. You are cherished. You are strong. You are needed. You are wanted. You matter. With that, I'm going to let you go. If you need me, reach out. I'm His Princess Kelly on Instagram. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.